Are you still single, Carol? Isn't that a little embarrassing?
What? Amy, is that you? It's been 10 years since I've heard from you.
I have to thank you for what you did for me. But anyway, so are you married or not?
No, not yet.
Really? Oh my god, that's so hilarious!
What's so funny about this?
Well, you've already turned 30, haven't you? To still be unmarried at that kind of age isn't good for a woman.
I've got my hands full with work. I don't have time to think about relationships right now.
You can't just blame your work for losing your chance for marriage. You sound like someone who knows it's too late and is just trying to save face.
What about you, Amy? Are you married yet then?
I'm planning to get married next month. And the guy I'm marrying is a total hunk. Not only that, he's the CEO of the company he works at. It's like I'm marrying a prince with how good I have it.
I see what this is about. You're trying to brag about yourself and get under my skin. Your only reason for contacting me after all these years is you wanted to rub this in my face, didn't you?
That's a good way to put it.
So, when exactly are you planning to hold the wedding?
It's going to be on the first Saturday of next month.
That might be a problem for me.
And why is that?
A friend of mine also has their wedding on that day, and I've already let them know that I'm coming to the event. I wasn't expecting your wedding to be on the same day as theirs.
So what's the problem?
To be honest, I don't really want to go to your wedding after what happened. But it wouldn't be right of me if I just decided not to go just because we haven't been getting along. I'm thinking I'll let them know about my situation and hopefully I'll be able to work this out.
You're telling me that you're planning to come to my wedding?
Yes, is there anything wrong with that?
Hold on a second! I never said that you were invited to the events.
What?
You showing up would only be an embarrassment to me and Dad. I've been trying to forget about your existence. You couldn't even graduate high school, so you being there would ruin everything.
Do you really have to be so cruel about this? Don't you care about what I did for you? Don't you care about how I gave you my liver so that you could go on living?
Just because you gave me your liver doesn't mean you get a free pass to come to my wedding.
Excuse me.
Even Dad said that we don't need to invite you. He said there's no reason to do that. You fulfilled your purpose, so we don't need you around anymore.
You both really haven't changed, have you? Why are you like this to me? What did I ever do to you to deserve this?
Your purpose in life was to give me your liver so that I could live a normal life.
I was always treated like I wasn't wanted at home. You were the one who got all the attention. You were treated like an only child, and I was treated like they never wanted me around.
You just couldn't compare to someone like me. It's no wonder why you were kicked out of the house right after you graduated middle school. When you were kicked out, it was so funny I was laughing about it for days.
They only gave me time to get what I needed to survive and then kicked me out.
I heard that you were living paycheck to paycheck just to pay for the apartment you moved into.
It wasn't easy for me to get by with how suddenly everything happened.
After I finally got to see you again 5 years after the surgery, I was shocked to see your face. You looked like you had aged 15 years in the 5 years I hadn't seen you. I never thought someone as young as 20 could look like they were already so aged.
Why are you bringing all of this up when you know how much I hate it?
What's the big deal?
It was then, 10 years ago, that Dad suddenly called me after not talking to me all that time. I thought he was going to apologize for everything he'd done up to that point in time.
As if he'd do that.
I know I was a fool to think that he'd try to change himself for the better. But all he did was ask that I'd give up my liver so that he didn't have to worry about finding another donor.
I never knew he was so straight with you.
At first I told him that I wasn't going to help him and that he should take to looking elsewhere for help. But then he started constantly calling my work and causing trouble for the staff. But it wasn't long until he gave up and left my work alone.
You'd think he'd try a little bit harder to save my life.
But after a bit of time, he said something that I wasn't expecting. He said that he was sorry and that he wanted to get back together as a family. He said as long as I helped save your life, he'd try his best to treat me better from now on.
He really said that?
That's right. He said that there was a lot of things he did wrong when raising me, and the things he did weren't right. He started basically begging me to forgive him.
I didn't know he went that far.
I thought he really had changed after what he had told me. It really seemed like he wanted to do better and that he actually started caring for me.
I guess you figured everything out after the surgery, huh?
Even though I was the one who saved your life. He said to not expect to be welcomed back at home. He told me that he was just using me to save you and that he never really meant anything that he said.
He helped me, though, and that's what matters.
I was taken off guard when he started apologizing. I've never heard him apologize to anyone, ever. And after being starved for love and affection, I fell into his trap and didn't realize the truth until it was too late. I never should have believed anything he said.
Life is full of ups and downs, though. I'm sure you ended up just fine in the end.
I was devastated after I learned that he never cared about me.
Don't be so dramatic. He was only trying to help someone he cared about. Anyhow, you don't have to worry about coming. You're not part of the family anymore. And you don't have to worry about me either. I don't want to talk to you after we're done here.
You were the one who contacted me in the first place. But fine, you won't have to worry about me showing up. But how about you try to start caring about the people around you and not about yourself?
Don't give me that crap. You were kicked out of the house for a reason. Dad always knew that you wouldn't amount to much and that caring about you didn't really matter in the end. You can't judge him for making the right decision.
You're horrible.
Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I was getting married. You can just keep living the wonderful life you have and not worry about a thing.
My name is Carol Smith, and I'm 30 years old. When I was finally starting to forget my terrible past and get on with my life, I received an unexpected message from my younger sister, Amy, who's about 3 years younger than me. I had always been treated poorly by my family, and it wasn't easy for me. But I'm an adult now. I thought that I'd at least try to be respectful and go to Amy's wedding. But as you can see, things didn't go as planned. While I'm much more of a quiet person, my sister loves being the center of attention and talking with those around her. While my sister was always loved and appreciated, I always got the short end of the stick. In the end, I was pushed out of the family and told to live on my own. And so, after I finished middle school, I had to pack my things. I left home and haven't lived there ever since then. It was a painful experience that really took a toll on me. But it was good to get out of the house and not have to deal with their abuse anymore. And after a while, I was able to develop a somewhat stable life for myself. I was even able to start living a normal life and make friends. One friend even invited me to her wedding. But I wasn't aware that I'd still have to deal with my family after all this time.
After I told you that you weren't invited, you decided to sneak into my wedding anyway? Who do you think you are, you rat?
I got an invite, so I decided to come.
But I never said that I wanted you here.
By the way, isn't there something you have to tell me? After everything I've gone through, don't you think there's something you have to say?
Oh, you mean about what I did in the bathroom?
Of course, that's what I'm referring to.
You mean how I spat in your face and poured wine all over your clothes?
You left one thing out.
Oh, I did tear off your necklace, didn't I?
I can't believe you go that far just because I showed up. In what world is doing something like that okay?
For what I wanted to do, this was me holding back, actually. You should be glad it wasn't any worse.
What was that all about, anyway? Why was there wine in the bathroom in the first place?
I just wanted something to ease my nerves before the ceremony started.
Don't you think it's a bad idea to start drinking before the most important day in your life?
I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to be plastered by the time the ceremony begins. Plus, what I do on my wedding day is none of your business.
Whatever. You can do what you want.
By the way, where are you right now?
I'm in the bathroom. I'm still drenched in the wine you doused me with. I can't go anywhere looking like this.
Well, you're not wrong.
But I was able to cover up most of the stains with the jacket I brought, so it isn't going to be a problem. I can't stay in the bathroom forever either. So it looks like I'll be able to be there for the ceremony.
Even after all of that, you're still planning to attend? I bet you're just hoping that you'll be able to steal my husband.
Excuse me?
Or maybe you're just hoping that you'll maybe be able to get together with one of his friends.
You really think that's what I'm planning?
I told you that I didn't want you here, and yet you showed up. What's the matter? Did you forget how to read or something? For what I wanted to do, this was me holding back, actually. You should be glad it wasn't any worse.
No. I think I'm able to read English just fine. I'm able to read your messages, aren't I?
Then why the heck did you decide to show up here? Explain yourself.
Your husband gave me an invite, so I decided to show up.
Did you leave your brain in your car?
I'm not crazy if that's what you're asking.
Then why are you telling such an obvious lie right now?
What do you mean?
There's no way that you were invited by him. It's clear as day you're making that up. I don't know how you found your way to my wedding, but try not to embarrass yourself while you're here.
I'm telling the truth. He gave me an invite.
Either way, there's not a seat saved for you, so you can just get out of here and head home.
Don't be so rude. I was invited, so I thought I'd be respectful and show up.
I don't care if you were invited or not. You don't belong here. You're just stalking me because you don't have anything better to do with your time.
Give me a break. As if I'd do something like that.
You're just jealous because I'm doing better in life in a way that you could never compare to. You can't get over your jealousy, so you have to cause trouble for others.
That's funny. I don't remember being jealous of you.
Whatever. Just get out of here before you start causing trouble for the other guests I've invited. I don't need you in my life anymore.
What are you saying?
I am saying that you're nothing to me, so you can just leave.
Oh.
You're dead to me, Carol. I already told everyone that you died a few years ago. And I don't need someone in the pictures who I've told everyone isn't around anymore. It'd just make people start asking questions.
You're seriously telling me that you told everyone I died?
That's right!
I'm suddenly not feeling so well. I think I'm going to be going.
Then I guess you better head to the hospital and get out of my wedding. You can think about your empty life while on your way home.
I guess you're right. If I'm going to go this far to attend your wedding only to be treated like this, it'd be better if I wasn't here. There's no point if I don't even have a seat prepared for me.
You're right, there isn't.
But why would you go so far just to not have me attend? What is your goal with all of this?
I can't let my connection to you sour my future relationship with David. If he knew that I had a poor sister that couldn't even graduate, he'd dump me for sure.
So he'd just dump you because he has some sort of prejudice? How does that make any sense?
It's what any normal person would think. You're the exception in this entire situation, so you shouldn't expect your way of thinking to be the right one.
Is that really how you see this? You don't have any problem with that line of thinking? Am I really that odd for wanting to attend?
If my husband David knew about your existence, I bet he'd throw a fit. I can't even imagine what he'd say if he knew about you. He'd probably talk about you for days.
I never knew he was really like that. I'll have to let him know what you said. I might have to cut off his line of support.
Line of support? What are you even talking about? Have you finally completely lost it?
I don't want to be working with someone who I know doesn't share the same values that I have. I'll have to talk with him later about how we're going to be handling this situation.
I think you better head over to the hospital and sort your head out. You've completely lost touch with reality. Maybe they'll check you into a mental facility for your own good.
You won't be happy with what happens next, Amy.
Yeah, whatever. Just get lost, would you? The ceremony is about to start, so I'd better get going. What did you do? David has gone crazy and the ceremony was canceled.
I just let him know that you didn't want me there and you sent me home. He was expecting me, so it was only right that I messaged him to let him know the situation.
You know his phone number? Where did you get that from?
I work with him, so of course I'd have access to his phone number.
When he heard what your name was, he started acting weird.
I bet he would. You and I look pretty similar, and I met with him the other day. He must have known something strange was going on, especially since I've been working with him on a big business deal.
He said that you were contributing to his business and were investing a lot of money into his work. He said you were one of the most important investors he was working with. So you really did receive an invitation to the wedding from him?
It's the truth.
Then why didn't you tell me earlier about this? You just turned the biggest day of my life into the greatest embarrassment of my life.
The ceremony really went that poorly?
This isn't a joke. Don't laugh about this. Because of you, not only did the wedding come to a halt, he's also planning to break up with me.
Why wouldn't he?
You're not getting away with this. You can't just ruin my chance to marry into wealth and happiness. Everything that happened, my life being over, it's all your fault.
Why is it my fault? I didn't do anything but let him know that I wouldn't be able to make it. You were the one who lied about me.
You ruined everything. You could have just lied and I would have had everything I wanted.
I don't like lying. It's not good to lie to the people you work with.
I was this close to having everything I ever dreamed of. Why did you even bother showing up when you knew it was my wedding from the invite he gave you?
The name Amy Smith isn't that uncommon of a name, so I thought the wedding was for someone else. I was always planning to go to my friend's wedding, but I never expected my friend's wedding and your wedding to be the same one.
I've come this far. I'm not just going to let everything fall apart because of one little slip. I want you to head over here right now and say you told me to tell everyone you were dead. If everyone hears that from you, maybe I'll be able to fix this.
You want me to do what?
If David hears from you that you were the one behind this, he'll forgive me and not want to break up. Come on. You can do that for me, can't you?
No thanks. You're old enough that you can take responsibility for your own mistakes. You can deal with it.
Jerk! Don't you realize how much trouble I'm in if you don't try and do something?
You want help from the person you tried so hard to kick out of your own wedding? Are you dense?
Shut up!
Besides, him breaking up with you isn't the only problem you have to worry about. I get ready for what comes next. You aren't going to like it.
What are you talking about?
You ruined my dress and necklace. Do you really think you'd get away with that?
Huh?
My dress would only probably take $50 to take care of, but that necklace was worth about $8,000. I'm not going to pay for that.
The necklace was that expensive? How is that even possible?
If you don't believe me, I've got the receipt right here. I saved it in case something like this happened.
You're kidding me, right? You can't actually be serious right now. You're not going to make your own sister pay for something so expensive, right?
I wouldn't joke about this. You're taking the fall for this.
But I can't. I'm not even working a job.
Then you'd better start looking. It'd be a good idea to find one before it's too late. It might be hard for someone like you, but I'm sure if you try hard enough, you'll grow to enjoy it.
I'll just have Dad bail me out.
Dad isn't even working anymore. Do you really think he'd be able to pay for that when he's living off his pension?
Why wouldn't he? He always takes care of my problems for me.
I don't think he'll be able to save you this time, Amy. He called me the other day to make sure to give you a wedding present in cash. But there was something odd about what was going on in the background of the call.
What do you mean?
It sounded like he was in a fight with some other men. They were yelling at him about how our dad owed them money. If you're hoping that he'll be able to lend you some, I think he's the last person that will be able to. I think he only called me because he was planning to steal some of your wedding gifts to pay off his debts. It makes sense knowing him. He's always been a piece of garbage.
But then, who's going to pay for your necklace?
You are, of course.
But how? How am I going to pay for this?
You never got my wedding gift. But I'm sure there are still the gifts from your other guests. I'm sure some of them have cash in them. Besides, this isn't the only thing I wanted to let you know.
What are you saying? Are you saying that you're going to let me off this once? You're going to not make me pay for this? I knew that we still could get along. I knew that you still cared deep down.
Have you been brushing your teeth regularly?
Huh?
When you spat all over my dress, I got a whiff of your breath. I've never smelled something so foul. So I was wondering if you had been taking care of your teeth like an adult.
Of course I am. I brush every morning and night.
Then it might be worse than I thought.
What does that even mean?
Has anyone else commented about how bad your breath stinks?
Not at all. But David is always telling me to use mouthwash and making sure I keep up with my brushing. I don't know what that's all about, though.
All that work, and yet you still have such bad breath.
Are you saying there's something wrong with my mouth?
I'd say. I've never dealt with such a bad smell.
Oh my god, how am I going to deal with this?
Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I just thought you should know.
Shut up! I don't need you to rub this in!
But it's good to know that even someone as repulsive as you can still get married. You learn something new every day.
Stop teasing me like this! This isn't the time for that! I need you to help out your only sister, so can you just listen to what I have to say?
What is it?
If you've been working with someone like David, then you must be pretty well off in terms of money.
After being kicked out of the house, I had to work tirelessly at part-time jobs just to stay afloat. But eventually, I was able to save up some money and built up a company of my own.
So you're the founder of a good business, right?
That's a good way to describe it.
Then you must have talked to some other businesses and have a few connections, right?
I suppose I know a few people here and there.
Then you can introduce me to some fancy well-off businessman, can't you?
That's your plan? To marry into wealth with someone else?
I may not have worked it out with David, but I'm still only 27. If I can just find the right person, I can still turn this whole situation back in my favor. So can't you just do this favor for me?
And you were telling me that I was the crazy one. Why don't you find a dentist to marry? If he doesn't marry you, at least he'd solve your bad breath.
So you won't help me?
You and Dad were always caring about yourselves and no one else. I'm tired of dealing with you two. And you were the one who said I was dead to you and to never speak with you again.
But that's not what I want anymore.
I don't care what you want. The answer is no.
But you can't. David has already given up on me, and from what you said, I doubt Dad will help me either. You're the only one I can ask for help right now.
So Dad won't even help you even with how much he pampered you in the past?
Dad was planning to have all of his debts taken care of by marrying me off to some rich man. He thought he could use my husband as a way to take care of both of our problems.
It looks like that isn't going to work now, is it?
Not with how David isn't going to marry me anymore. At this rate, he's going to start treating me as badly as he treated you.
In the end, I guess he was just planning to use you to get what he wanted. Him pampering you must have been in preparation for when he was going to use you later.
He's been calling me all sorts of names ever since he started having trouble with his dad.
He really must have lost it when things started going bad for him.
You're both terrible! I've never been treated this badly before.
What you're going through is nothing compared to what I had to deal with. Not only was I treated like an outsider, I was used and then thrown away like it was nothing. Do you even understand what it's like to fight just to survive?
You were never as good as me, so what happened only makes sense.
I'm sure you'll learn more about what it's like to not always get your way very shortly. Good luck trying to survive in the real world. You're going to need it.
Wait! You can't be telling me that you're abandoning me! Don't you even care about your family?
We were never family, Amy. I don't care what happens to you. You and I are done. I'll be waiting for my $8,500, so make sure to work hard. Goodbye, Amy. After our conversation, Amy went into a fit of rage. She started going crazy and was breaking dishes in the reception hall. Not only that, but she tore up her dress in the process and caused a lot of damage to the venue. It took some time until her rampage was finally over. By the time she was done, she had done about $2,000 in damage, which only added on to her debt situation. It was no surprise that David decided to ditch Amy with the way she acted. Even her father, who had indulged her up to this point, gave up on her. It wasn't a surprise knowing how much of a scumbag he was, but Amy wasn't expecting it. And with having no one else to rely on, Amy started getting desperate. She begged me in the messages she sent to not make her pay for my necklace and dress. She even started begging Dad repeatedly to have him take care of her. But Dad wanted none of that and blocked her out of his life. I only wonder if any of this would have happened if my father would have been a better person. I don't know what's going on in both of their lives anymore, but I doubt either of them are doing very well at the moment. As for me, things have been good recently. David's project is going well, and I should be getting a good return off of the hard work he's put in. He's worked as hard as I have to make sure things work out. It's not easy to have to deal with the broken pieces after a terrible childhood, but I've been working to make the best of life with what I've been given. I'm not going to let my past drag me down any longer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.